Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lessons with Mark. Now this is a series where I talk about a topic, and this week's topic, we're going to be talking about oil, and I'm going to be emptying my brain of said wisdom that I have gathered over the years of cooking. It may be right, it may be wrong, but hey, it's going to be fun along the way. So if you do want to like and subscribe, then hit the button, leave us a comment, let us know if you want to see any more of these videos, and if you do enjoy them, good times. If you want to see me cook, there's plenty of other videos about that, but here I just want to unleash some wisdom. Sort of. So oil, right? It's a big topic in cooking. It's like what oil do you cook with, as I would call it, lube. What lube do I cook with? What's the purpose? All of that kind of stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a couple of things. So number one is flavour, okay? So let's go through a couple of the oils we've got. So these are probably the top ones that I use, okay? So extra virgin olive oil. Now when you think of it, when I always talk about taste and flavours in food, extra virgin olive oil is so complex, so wonderful, so brilliant, peppery, delicious, all of these incredible health benefits. Maybe we should stick health here, we'll talk about it in a bit. And this kind of thing you can use across any kind of cooking, okay? But my point always comes back to, what is the point? If you're going to be cooking a steak, for example, and the primary flavour is going to be steak, that beautiful, deep, rich meatiness, is there any need to cook it in extra virgin olive oil? Probably not, okay? If I was to cook a steak, I want to use something that is going to be for the purpose of giving me a decent crust. So some form of lube, like a veg oil or a sunflower oil or something like that, that doesn't have a flavour, doesn't necessarily cost an arm and a leg, so you don't feel like upset pouring a load on your steak to get it going. So veg oil is what I would class as a neutral oil, okay? So certain things you want a neutral oil. Let's go, for example, you're going to be doing like an Asian crispy chili oil, okay? If you put extra virgin olive oil in that, it's going to be bitter and it's going to be weird. But when you warm up your veg oil, the only purpose it's serving is to, you know, create the sauce. It's not going to have any flavour that's going to impart onto the actual onto the recipe, because the crispy oil, the chilies, the garlic, the shallots, all of that is going to be so overpowering you're not going to taste it. Again, if you're going to do something like in the previous video where I did mayonnaise, okay, so again you would want to go for a neutral oil or something lower that doesn't necessarily have a massive intense flavour profile. So if you did mayonnaise with extra virgin olive oil, it would be disgusting and bitter. It would just be weird. So that's where you have blends. You have blends of like pomace oil and olive oil and all that kind of stuff, where the flavour is a little bit more neutral, a little bit more subtle, and you can use that across those kind of things. So I always think about, in the final dish, am I going to notice what oil has been used, okay? Again, another example, chimichurri. When you make a chimichurri, it's always worth using like a decent olive oil, because you have that heat from the chili, you've got the onions, you've got the garlic, all quite intense, but then you have this sort of like lovely bitter undertone, all balanced with vinegar, okay? So always think about, are you going to taste it? Sesame oil I use a lot in Asian cooking, obviously. Well done, Mark, congratulations, you just said what everyone knew. But I was told that you're not meant to cook with sesame oil, but hey, I don't really care. As long as it goes in and I can taste it, I'm enjoying myself. So sesame oil mainly used for like finishing and dressing dishes, making dressings, etc. But I like to cook with it as well if I'm going to do, say, some scrambled eggs for a stir-fried rice, right? Health benefits. I'm not going to bang on about this because I don't really understand it fully, but there is lots of stuff that's good in this, good things for you, healthy fats, all of that kind of stuff. If you look at all of the Mediterranean diets, you look at Spanish, you look at Italian, you look at Greece, all of that kind of stuff, they have got a load of olive oil. I wonder why, because they're healthy and they live longer apparently. But this has got all the good stuff in it. This has probably got some good stuff in it. This, we're starting to go ultra processed and a bit weird, probably not good if you're chugging pints of it, but totally fine if you're just going to be frying a steak or doing something weird with it. Sesame oil, don't have a clue, whatever. Now the main thing is it comes down to cost. So the price of olive oil absolutely skyrocketed. When was it? About 2-3 years ago, because it was all due to a bad harvest, okay? Bad harvest, price rise, simple stocks and shares, isn't it? If there's scarcity in the market, then yeah, I don't know. But extra virgin olive oil. Now, this girl, where is she? This one here, oh, I don't know where my other ones are gone. This one here is a litre of the good stuff, and it was, I think, about 15, 16 quid. So it kind of goes back to my point of going, what are you using it for? If you buy yourself a 250ml bottle of olive oil for 6-7 quid, and you're just going to use it for a little bit of dressing a salad and doing that kind of thing, perfect, cook to your budget. But if you're going to go and use extra virgin olive oil to pour over your steak, I think it's a bit wasteful in my eyes. We're not Jamie Oliver, we all don't have a load of money, so just grab yourself a little veg oil. It doesn't have to be a big obnoxious one like I've got, it doesn't have to be one like this, but you know, just go grab something that is your day-to-day general cooking oil. So this is Tresla money. And then as you start to go down, obviously the cost is going to get lower. So I always like to think, is it worth spending, or is it worth using that on a dish if you're not going to taste it? That is all it comes down to with oil for me. Cooking properties. When I did a podcast with George, was talking about olive oil, and there's a lot of information that says if you take olive oil too high, it's got a lower smoke point and it will burn off all of the good, are they called polyphenols or something like that? It's all of the good stuff. But you can take these to like 280 odd degrees, which is pretty much a basic standard oven. So you're not going to lose the health benefits. The smoke point of these ones down here, like your veg oils, your nut oils, your peanut oils, and all that kind of stuff, is something you would use in a deep fat fryer because you can take it up to a higher point. But it also comes all the way back to flavour. And what's the point? Are you going to fill a fryer with olive oil? Absolutely not. Flavour wise, cost wise, just stupid. But in terms of smoke point, this is the lowest. These ones down here are the highest, the veg oils. But these can be taken for your standard frying and all of that kind of stuff. Think about it. Always look back and go, what dishes do people cook? If you look at a Spanish tortilla, for example, they would cook the potatoes almost confit in the extra virgin olive oil, and it'll go up to quite a high temperature. So yeah, I mean, I could bang on all day about this and just give you examples. Just think about it. What is the point of using something? What's not the point of using something? Hope that made sense. Over and out. I love you all. Let's go pause on it.